Welcome people, welcome to the Filthy Kitchen. I'm the Squatchman. Kitchen is not as filthy as it has been in the past, but c'est la vie. Today we are going to get the bacon ready. First thing I'm going to do is preheat the oven, 350 degrees. Press start. I got this aluminum foil, aluminium for those in the UK. This is Alcan, Aluminum Canada brand, Aluminum Canada Plus. What can I say? There's really no need, there's no reason why the people in the UK decided to start calling it aluminium. It was originally called aluminum, and I guess they thought it sounded cooler. But that's it. We got two accepted pronunciations. That's how you rip it, by the way. You just give it a nice swift tug. Here's my pan, the aluminum foil or aluminium, if you wish. It's a little longer and a little wider, so we're going to make ourselves a little dish in here. Couple of reasons for this. Reason number one is it keeps our tray clean. And reason number two, it's going to collect all that valuable bacon grease that we are going to use later for cooking steaks. Yeah, so here's how it looks. I got a little tray made. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that lovely? Isn't that delightful? So by the time it takes the oven to heat up, I should have the tray coated with bacon. Yeah, bacon. Ooh, look at this. What the heck is going on there? There's a few slices sitting in this one. Little chunk of fat. I'm gonna give that to the dog. Oh my, Sniffy the bacon. Okay, the dog heard my little whistle and he's gonna come down and look in his bowl and find a little blob of bacon fat. Look, didn't take him long. He's in there going right to town, so to speak, on his blob of bacon fat. Oh, happy dog, are you? Happy dog. All right. So we'll grab some more of this delightful meat. And it's a lot like shingling a roof, I guess. You're just gonna shingle this here pan, cover it over with strips of this here bacon, and then into the oven for about 25 minutes at 350. I'll put it in for 23 minutes at 350. Have a look. If it looks done, I'll take it out. If it doesn't look done, I'll turn off the heat and leave it in for another couple of minutes. So just so you guys know how to make perfect oven baked bacon. Some people like to cook their bacon in a pan. I always used to do that, but I find it's much better in the oven, and you can do a lot more. And you know, you set it and forget it, so to speak. Set it and forget it. Ooh, I am starving. I did 7 hard rounds of boxing in the orthodox stance. It was quite challenging, but you know, I did it. Why not? Got a nice sweat going. Later on, I'm supposed to lift some weights. I'm supposed to do back today. wish I had the ability to do some cable pulley rows and some lat pull downs, but all I have here are dumbbells, so I can't really do that. So I'll do some types of, I'll do one-armed bent over rows, I'll do two-arm bent over rows at a different area of the back, and that's basically all I can do. So that's it. Better than nothing. I got a home gym, I got dumbbells, so I make the most out of what I got. It's very important to lift weights, especially as you get older. And that's me in a nutshell, getting older. Well, we're all getting older, let's face it. Oh, look, we have a guest. It's little Rocky, nickname Bibs. How's little Bibs? Little Bibs, not the toughest nickname in the world. Some wolves, you know, have the nickname Bone Crusher, or, you know, Elk Slayer, or, you know, things like that. His nickname is Bibs. Little Bibs. But he thinks it's cool, so that's the main thing. My hands are covered in bacon grease, so if this video gets a little long, I don't really want to touch the phone right now and shut this down because I gotta wash my hands first. So I try to keep these videos around 10 minutes. If I can get this one paved in bacon prior to 10 minutes, then that's what I'll do. Otherwise, it's probably gonna run a little long. Hey, roads paved with bacon. Yeah. I just caught a glimpse of the element inside the oven. It's red hot. Hot tamales on the red hot, yeah, she got 'em on sale. Hot tamales on the red hot, yes, now she got 'em on sale. 3 for a nickel, 4 for a dime. What is all you more, but ain't none of mine. Hot tamales on the red hot, yeah, now she got 'em on sale. Oh boy, yeah, she got 'em on sale. Yes, yeah. Little Robert Johnson, 1936. For those of you who like it, if you want to hear the actual song, I'm sure it's on YouTube. It's called Hot Tamales by Robert Johnson, circa 1936. He was one of the original members of the 27 Club, and yeah, he was poisoned when the husband of a woman he was having an affair with. Look at that beautiful bacon. The roads is paved with bacon. Anyway, Robert Johnson was having relations with a married woman. The husband was a club owner, and the club owner sent him over a bottle of whiskey. The seal was broken on it, and he was advised not to drink it because you never want to drink whiskey that has the seal broken. He ignored that, drank it, and died. He was poisoned. I think he died a very painful death that, if I'm not mistaken, lasted about 3 days before he finally succumbed. Very painful, very bad way to go. But Robert Johnson, the legend, the great Robert Johnson, he was a very average guitar player, and then he kind of disappeared for a year or so, and when he came back, he was the world's greatest guitar player, probably one of the greatest guitar players the world has ever known. And the legend has it that he sold his soul to the devil down at the crossroads to become the world's greatest guitar player. So that's the legend. He even wrote songs about it to encourage this legend. But the amount of improvement he made from being basically a mediocre, easily ignored guitar player to disappearing for a year and coming back and being the greatest guitar player anybody had ever heard or seen, this is how legends are made. And Robert Johnson has a lot of recordings out there that he recorded, I believe, between the years 1934 and 1936 when he was murdered. And it's very interesting because I think he has about 60 or 70 recordings, but they thought since 1935 to 1968 that he only had about 30 recordings, and then they found in a safe in an old recording studio basically another 30 plus recordings. It doubled the known recordings of Robert Johnson in 1968, and the world rejoiced. And at that time, bands like the Rolling Stones did a rendition of Love in Vain, and Eric Clapton did I think it was Roadhouse Blues, and Led Zeppelin. They didn't actually do a Robert Johnson song per se, but they stole a lot of his licks and lines out of his songs. You can call it an homage if you wish. Back then, I mean, who wrote the songs, we don't really know. They were kind of folk songs. People lifted each other's lyrics, lines here and there. Did these guys actually sit down and pen these songs? Nobody really knows, but they certainly gave it their own twist or whatever. Elvis did something similar. I mean, people wrote songs for Elvis, but he demanded a writing credit. And I agree with this actually, because the way Elvis interpreted the songs and the way he put his own spin on them, and anybody, let's face it, anybody who wrote a song and gave it to somebody who wasn't Elvis, they might have sold a few thousand copies, but if you gave it to Elvis, you're gonna be extremely rich because of Elvis himself and his rendition, his interpretation, the way he did it. He certainly did add to the song. So people criticize Elvis or other people, oh, they didn't really write songs. Well, there's a couple of things. One, people didn't do that back then so much. And two, it's like when a band writes a song. I mean, someone writes the lyrics, someone writes the rhythm or whatever. You can't really say that, you know, a guitar player who puts a lead in didn't add to the song, didn't contribute to the writing. Same as Elvis or other singers, their interpretation, their way of doing it certainly changed, you know, the song and added to it. And if that's not contributing to the actual writing of the song, I don't know. It's up for discussion, up for interpretation. But you know, Elvis. Anybody who denies the greatness of Elvis, you know, and then of course you got all these black people saying he just stole the black music. Well, if you really know the history of Elvis, Elvis grew up in the black community. He was the poorest of the poor. He was poorer than the black people. I mean, the town he grew up in, there was a railroad track, and the black people lived on one side of the railroad track and the white people lived on the other. Well, Elvis lived on the side of the black people, and his family was so poor that the black people basically took care of his family. They took pity on him. He was that poor. So the music of the black people was his music. And say what you will, Elvis certainly was the king. Anyway, that's going to end it here. Make your bacon, put it in, all that jazz. Till next time, who loves your baby? This guy, don't forget it. And remember, you're somebody's favorite person in this world, probably mine. So till next time, love you, goodbye. And a little later, I'm going to work my back, going to work my biceps, and who knows, I might even do another cardio workout. So till next time, love you, and goodbye.